start that recording and start that stream. Ladies and gentlemen,
What's going on, everybody? I'm doing an intro
welcome to
noise.
Horsin
Blah, 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 blah.
Around, a dumbass cast. I'm your host, as always, Nick Mercadante, and with me today I have one lovely Halo-enthused guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello. As previously stated in deep head-ass lore, my name is Patrick Camario, and I am a multi-award-winning animator.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're here to discuss a little game focused on one John Halo that came out on Wednesday, and I spent the last 2.5, kind of 3 days binging, and I think the long and short of it is that it good. Halo Infinite campaign.
Tell me about your long and short, Nicholas.
No, I just
No,
did.
give me the review of the long and short.
No,
you gave me the short. You gave me the short. You didn't give me
Yeah.
the long.
Let's
Let's go into that long.
The long is, I love the dynamic of Master Chief, the weapon, and Echo 219, the three main characters of this game. I think that Eshram as a villain was a very fun villain to go up against. Like he did a good job of representing the Banished. It was kind of funny to have him spend most of the game talking about Atriox, and then we've never really got Atriox in the game. But he served his job well, and that boss fight was a real fucking bitch. But
It was.
You know, it was still fun. I liked it. The new villain, the Harbinger, was also interesting. Good expansion of the world, I think, to entice us into, I guess, what is a... No, that's not... Oh, that is... Okay, that is the title. That's the right title. It's a good lead-in for a new villain and a new, like, series of games, which they are now setting up with this game. I wasn't sure if they were going to do a setup for another, like, set of games, or if they were going to just... I don't know, end it. I guess I really shouldn't have been foolish and and had any inkling of an imagination that they might have ended Halo here, because it makes them so much fucking money. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah, they're never gonna end Halo. This fucking series
Man,
is...
my man's John's gotta go to sleep at some point, though. He's gotta stop.
Microsoft Games, or Microsoft as the parent company, created an entire studio just to continue the Halo legacy.
Just their Halo machine, yeah.
Yeah, they literally made a studio. Can you imagine that? You're a game dev, right? And like, or I shouldn't say you're a game dev. You're a game studio, right? And you could be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make some fun indie games or some shit. And then like, over on the other side, on the west fucking coast, Microsoft is over here like going like, we have one studio for one fucking game trilogy, or not game trilogy,
series.
Game like series, yeah, exactly. We have one studio for one fucking franchise, and that's Halo. Like a couple years back, you would say like, oh, Bungie does is make Halo, but now they make Destiny, so like they're actually like, or they also made Marathon.
They did, they did games before Halo. Not that they ever really went anywhere. Once Halo hit, they kind of were just doing that for the next decade plus, and then they finally ended their contract with Microsoft, and they're like, all right, now we're gonna fucking make Destiny, make $1 billion, but then we'll join Activision, but then we'll leave Activision, and now we'll just be independent again.
I mean, it was a good move. Hindsight 2020.
Yeah, it was something, but yeah.
It's interesting to take note. I'm sorry. I mean, it's interesting to take note that like so many studios nowadays, or I shouldn't say so many, but like there's a solid handful of studios that are just locked into like one franchise. And I imagine that like it's comfortable because hey, you get to know this like intellectual property, like this IP super well. But then like you're kind of trapped making the old shit like over and over again. Like look at fucking all of the Activision subsidiaries.
Yeah.
But I digress. We're getting off of the meat at hand, the topic at
off of
hand.
John Halo.
Yeah, I promised I would leave as soon as we stopped talking about Halo the other night.
Uh-huh. And then we just never
And
stopped talking about Halo. Okay. All right. Thank you, Pat.
That's funny. It's a bit. I'm
Yeah,
zooming.
very, very funny bit. Yeah, I would say, like, I mean, to put a number on it, 9.5 out of 10, if not a 10 out of 10, like, easily for me. And I played, yeah, for Halo, and I had to play through, like, half of it, like, 3 times. So I never got bored of it. In that binge session.
What were some key highlights for you for Infinite?
The fucking Pelican Down scene where, he.
This is a spoiler. This is spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, we're doing spoilers. Okay. I mean, I don't want to necessarily go in. I mean, I could be vague about it though, because I really think some of this stuff is like just genuinely great to see for the first time around, but it's also great on repeat views. But the scene that I'm talking about where Echo 219 is. Like, Chief goes and he saves him from a bunch of Banished, and then he has sort of a breakdown, and then...
I've spoiled it for myself, and you've spoiled it again for me, so yes.
So, but that scene was, like, a really... This whole game is, like, making more and more, I think, honestly, like, 4, and for as flawed as it was, 5... and Infinite now are all like trying to add more character to Master Chief, because they did the trilogy of Halos where it's just Master Chief doesn't afraid of anything. He shoots the aliens, and that's all there. That's all you need to know. He makes funny jokes sometimes. He says good one-liners, but Cortana does most of the heavy lifting as far as characterization goes. And that's all you really needed, and that was great. But we've been so with them for so long that they start to, the writers wanted to start asking more contemplative questions about, hey, this child that got abducted when he was 6 years old and turned into a killing machine, and he's been doing that for basically the last 50 years. Like, what does that do to a guy? And especially what happens when basically their only companion for the most grueling years of their life have just up and vanished, and then came back and then turned evil. And I think they do a good job of filling that in with Halo Infinite. They do a fantastic job of portraying Master Chief as a tired, sad man who still, like, he just is, he's running on autopilot almost, and he kind of admits that at one point. I don't remember the exact line, but he's like something about like, maybe this is my programming, it's just to keep going. And that's like, it's just done so well, and he's like humanized really well. Like, and that again goes back to that scene with the pilot. He kind of gets down, he like just talks to him, and it's like really open and honest with him. I don't know, it was delivered really well, and also like all of the campaign cutscenes are, for one, done really well with like in-game camera work. I was really impressed with like the cinematography of it was done really nicely.
Cinnamon, love that.
Cinematography, and it just like really, and especially like there was a lot of moments where, like the Banished basically just fucked over the UNSC utterly by like the beginning of the game, so that's not even a spoiler. And there's a lot of dead Spartans lying around. A lot of Spartan 4s that got absolutely murderized by the Banished. And it's like every time there's like a cutscene, when you get some equipment throughout the game and you get them basically off the bodies of these dead Spartans. And whenever you sit down and like grab the armor, they take deliberate time to have you kneel down, take the equipment and then look like put your hand on the dead Spartan's shoulder and like look them over, and like this somber music plays, and it makes you feel so sad for John, because like that's, I don't know, it's like his, just more of his family is fucking dying.
Cousins, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, like it makes you understand that he has emotions, and he he feels things, and he feels sad for the loss of these comrades, and the music, the score is like fantastic. They have a really good Banished theme that plays when Escharum like does his little speeches, and I love that. And then again, like there's a really somber theme that plays when you're interacting with those dead Spartans. And then of course you got the classic Halo theme, the da 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 da, that comes in during the action scenes. And you never get fucking tired of that. You can't. It's just fucking Martin O'Donnell really fucking knocked it out of the park, and I'm glad that 343 knows when to bring it back. They definitely are milking nostalgia this game, but I think they milk it in a tasteful way that doesn't make me like roll my eyes at any point. I get genuinely excited when he says the funny lines, when he says to finish the fight. He's it's like, oh my god, yes, I get it. It's a fucking nostalgia pull for the ages, but it works, and I love it. And then the music, when it hits so goddamn hard. I think they even bring back, there's a tank section, which automatically makes the game a success, like I said.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Actually, let's ask Jacob about that.
Oh, yeah?
Jacob, what do you think about the tank
Jacob
section?
hasn't played the game. We're not having him in here, alright? Get out of here. Fucking...
Oh, we're not having Jacob in here?
No, we don't.
I thought you wanted him,
played it. No, he hasn't played it.
Did you not read chat? I literally said I got banned from the podcast, and it's all Nick's fault.
Yeah, well, I told you we're doing a Halo special, and if you haven't played Halo, I don't want you in here, alright?
I literally told you that. I posted in chat. That's all I'm saying.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I can see it, Nick. I can see you on stream kick me from the server. I can see that happen. I'm not blind.
Anyways,
so it's just you and me then.
Yeah, well, we're the only ones that have really experienced all of the campaign, just to one degree or another.
I haven't experienced all the campaign, but yeah.
But they bring back what I believe is the same theme that they use from the tank section in Halo 3, when you're in that tank section in Infinite, and it's just so good.
Simply good game design.
It's just a well-oiled machine. Like, I don't know. Like, the combat is satisfying. I guess that's the other big, the writing of the story is one thing, but the actual gameplay is the other huge factor, and it works for sure, like 100%. And I think you can, attest for that for even the amount of time that you've played. It's just...
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, what's it called? I played a little bit of Halo 4 when MCC came out. And I played a little bit of Halo 5 Forge. I didn't get to play Halo 5 like very competitively, and neither did I really give a shit about Halo 4. But I didn't think that they were bad games at all. I thought they were like absolutely fine games, but a lot of people didn't like them and called them trash and stuff. And I disagree on the idea of them as just purely games. But I would for sure say that they weren't really... They weren't super great Halo games. Like, they added more... how do I put this? Halo 4 and Halo Infinite, and I think one of our friends said this some time earlier, but Halo 4 and Halo Infinite were what Call of Duty, what the sci-fi Call of Duties wanted to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that was such a weird thing, was that Call of Duty was exploring like future tech and future wars and all that shit. And at the same time, you had Halo 5 Guardians basically trying to be... Like, Halo 4 was dipping its toes, but I think Halo 5 really was like the apex of them trying to sort of Call of Dutyify themselves in a way. Like, it just felt like they were introducing a lot of things to make the games faster, with, like, the having sprint as a default option, which I think is good overall, but it's definitely a thing that they introduced as sort of a approaching codification kind of deal, where they wanted to be part of that, and then they introduced a bunch of other items that made combat go faster. And I mean, to build on that, it's still kind of getting faster in Infinite. Like, the grapple hook is in, like, the movement. You were watching that fight where I was using the grapple hook to, like, get around the battle arena super quickly, but I had to do that to, like, because they built the boss room around that. But I think it works fine. And it's still, I think they've still scaled it in a way that it's still, like, time to kill in Halo games is still slower than it is in COD. And
yeah,
I think
I'd agree.
Good.
I think it seems like, and I've said this to a couple of friends before, as I've played the Halo Infinite multiplayer, and as I play the campaign too, it's just sort of reinforcing it. Halo Infinite feels like a modern take on Halo 3.
Yeah.
Like, it has the same design patterns, the same similar ideas with Halo 3. Like, making the abilities, the Spartan abilities, not just like abilities, but more instead equipment.
Yeah.
Was a good move.
Yeah, they're not just
removing
pickups. Like, I mean, they are pickups, but they are multi-use and, just, like, a lot easier to access, I guess, than what they were in Halo 3 was, like, there were just spots where you'd pick them up, and then that'd be you'd basically be the only one who could be able to use it for the next, like, 5 minutes, and then you'd throw it down and that'd be it. And this is more,
they were power weapons, they were utility,
yeah,
they're gadgets. And like, and one thing that I really found interesting was that no one complains right now, no one has complained, at least to the best of my knowledge, about Bloom. Like, and that's because I noticed that, like, Halo Infinite has a lot of weapons that have Bloom, like the assault rifle, the sniper rifle. Actually, I said a lot of weapons, and I might just be those two. I could be wrong. Oh, Spiker?
The pistol's Bloom.
The commando. Yeah, but the battle rifle doesn't have Bloom.
Yeah, the BR doesn't have Bloom, which is good.
The battle rifle doesn't have Bloom. The Sentinel beam doesn't have Bloom. A lot of the Covenant weapons don't have Bloom.
The Sentinel beam doesn't have Bloom, but it rises over time, so you have to, like, control it. But that's a lot easier.
It has ammo now, which is new.
Yeah,
at least new to
me. They added ammo to the Sentinel beam.
Yeah, they made a lot of design choices that were, like, a nice marriage between, like, original Halo and, like, say, their own take on Halo.
Right.
Like,
well, they introduced, like, people were so mad when they introduced Bloom and Reach because they added it to basically all of the precision weapons, including the BR, and so that made firefights take, like, that extended the time of firefights by introducing that. Sorry, not the BR, the DMR as it was in Reach.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's interesting to see how they've tweaked and modified that, where, like, the sniper rifle, I think in Halo Reach, I could be wrong, but it had Bloom even when you were scoped in. But now it's only, they are trying to discourage no scoping, so they are making it so there's Bloom when you no scope, so you have to wait until you have that precision back.
Yeah.
Or if you're scoped in and using it, as intended, TM, then it doesn't have any Bloom, and then you're good to just, like, go at it.
Yeah, and Bloom is, like, interesting as a game mechanic overall, but what's it called? Adding it in, and the way that they married it in with, like, Halo's core design choices. Like, it's I feel like 343 definitely took notes from, like, their past games and, like, fan grievances of the past games. But also I like how they kept true to themselves in the sense that, like, look, we like how obviously there are fans that very much dislike these aspects of the past Halo games.
Yeah.
However, we feel that sprinting has to be a part of Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
It has to be there.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, classic Halo fans like the classic Halo movement where you don't need a sprint. So what's the average here? What do we like compromise? How do we compromise this? Make sprinting a thing, but it's just not that much faster than like it's a little bit faster, but it's not that much faster than standard Halo movement. Like, and it's like it's smart. Like they're able to take like we like Bloom. We feel like Bloom helps like add some more nuance to the game, and there's a loud subset of fans that like very much hate Bloom.
Yeah.
Right? So how do we balance this out?
It gets a little like again the added time to firefights and with the Bloom that they had in Halo Reach was kind of annoying. So they've come to a sort of compromise with it, which I think
part of that compromise also falls upon how at least in multiplayer how they rework shields to be flat instead of like having multipliers depending on like headshots. Like being able to control your spray and stuff and being able to control your weaponry and like I could see that adding Bloom and on top of like headshot multipliers for shields could get kind of like messy with like reliability and such. But I do like how they compromised by making like headshots one-shot headshot.
Yeah.
Like and it translates pretty well into like campaign where it's like fucking what's it called? Adding the brutes and the elites, like the elites are usually more shielded than the brutes, but like the brutes also have that armor and you still have the same mechanics of like getting one-shot headshots off of like both, depending on like how much like when they're able to be executed.
Yeah. And going on that topic, the enemy types are really nicely varied. Like I think every alien species has at least 2 or 3 types of like variants. So with the jackals, you have normal jackals, and then you have the like
skirmishers.
There's a skirmish. I would consider the skirmishers their own thing because they act way differently from regular jackals. But yes, lore-wise they are related. But
it's like fucking having different races and humans. What are you gonna say? The fucking like?
Well, no. I was gonna say
Asians are completely different than white.
There's the banished skirmishers with the red armor that have like they take more to get knocked out. Like I noticed as I was going through it. You could melee a regular jackal twice, and it would knock its shield back on the first try and kill it in the second one. The banished jackals would have...
With the golden shield.
Yeah, golden shield would take longer for that shield to pop, and if you tried to melee them, it would take them 3 tries. And sometimes they would melee you back if you were
those
poorly optimized or whatever.
Those fuckers are fucking bastards.
I
what's it called? One thing that I noticed while playing Legendary, and I noticed this in like the first boss fight, was how much the Mauler fucks you up. Your shields go down, you get popped immediately by some schmuck with a fucking Mauler.
It lives up to being a buckshot, fucking weapon. Like
slugshot.
Slugshot. It's a pistol, but it is a powerful fucking pistol.
It is a fucking hand. Fucking all Covenant and Legendary on Halo Infinite went to their fucking weapons training courses.
Yes.
Or I shouldn't say Covenant, I'm sorry. The Banished have better weapons training than the Covenant did.
Well, of course. That's their whole thing, is that they were the most like ruthless killing machines in the galaxy. And they live up to it. For sure.
They do. I gotta admit, fucking what's it called? I love how I can imagine all of the fucking like brutes and stuff being like, alright, you grunts, I fucking hate that all of you are such garbage with your fucking weaponry. We're going to fucking stand in this row and just do some target practice for a week fucking straight.
Yeah.
And like all the grunts are like, I want to suckle on some teeth.
I graduated top of my class at Nipple Academy, a real place that they continuously mention in their combat dialogue. Or I think it might be their idle dialogue, but you hear it. It's just hilarious that they're making that like real.
And they're right. Honestly, if you give a grunt a sniper rifle, they would immediately outshine Chris fucking Kyle immediately. Like, look, I imagine that grunts Well, I imagine that they wouldn't even be coming home with PTSD. They'd be fine.
Yeah, and that's the other like more with enemy types, like the grunts. There are the red and blue, or the orange and blue ones are like default grunts. Then you have banished grunts, which take I think there's red and purple that take extra shots to kill. They have like more armor, and then there's the white armored grunts that have shields, and those fuckers are really annoying.
They brought back Spec Op grunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is dope. It's really awesome. They didn't bring back the Halo 1 Spec Op grunts that were jet black clad, but fine, I guess. Sure.
I didn't
they used to have
that was a thing.
They did. They used to run. Yep, jet black grunts. They used to run with the elites, with the Spec Op elites that used to be invisible. They brought back Spec Op elites.
They did. There was an outpost that you can capture where it looks like it's completely empty, but there's actually just two invisible elites running around, and they're trying to stab you with their energy swords.
They sometimes, and this is a bit of a spoiler. Sometimes when you clear out an outpost, they can get reinforced and like be taken. Like so, like usually you'd leave Marines there. Like they'd start spawning there.
Yeah.
But if you don't see Marines nearby, that means they could have been taken over, back over by like Covenant, like by a small Covenant force, not like a completely like the base is up and running again. But
really?
I remember running back to not Ransom. Or I think it was Ransom. Ransom's the start of the next zone past the beginning, I think.
Okay.
But I went back to the prison processing area, Ransom or whatever.
Okay.
And like I cleared it out before, and then I ran back to it, and like I found a small squad of elites, a couple of jackals, like standing out front, and I was like, "What the fuck? I cleared this place." Inside, I find more.
I think I did encounter that. I'm sorry, I was thinking the forward operating bases. I thought that was what we were talking about. We were talking about the big facilities that are like
the big facilities. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Dude, oh my god. Yeah, can we talk about how good the Marines are in this game? The Marines fucking
absolutely not.
No, hold on. No, hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
The Marines in this game. So they introduced a new vehicle that I like to call the Transport Hog. It's called the Razorback though, and it is literally just a Warthog with no turret. It's just you can carry up to 6 people, yourself included, in it.
The battle bus.
The battle bus, exactly. Or I called it the party bus, and it's when you get a couple of Marines with power weapons in the back of that, you could just clear an entire outpost or like a high value target or anything just by driving around and making sure you don't get killed, like no grenades thrown at you, and you're fucking.
You got a couple. Look, you got a couple of sniper rifles, you got a couple of stalker rifles, you're made in the fucking shade, bro. Yeah. It's like, it's disgusting.
And it's so much fun. And even when you have to get out, if you go into an outpost with like 5 Marines, and then you can find more Marines in there to break out, you have a little army following you around, and it's fucking great.
I wish they allowed you to gather more than just 5 Marines.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. It'd be so cool to actually like have Marines like tagging along and picking up like vehicles on the side or whatever. Like they drive their own vehicles.
I don't know if they just weren't able to like get the bugs fixed or something, but they definitely disabled the Marines' abilities to get in vehicles and drive them. Which, I mean, they haven't been very good at driving vehicles ever, so maybe they just decided that it wasn't worth even bothering this time around. But it would be really cool if you could get like a Razorback full of Marines, and then if there was a Mongoose nearby, 2 other Marines would hop in that and follow you in the Mongoose.
Well, apparently, Halo Infinite has similar modding, has a similar like framework to like the other Halo games, making it fairly. I shouldn't say easy, but like similar in difficulty to modding like the other Halo games.
Yeah. I mean, look, I honestly, I mean, that sounds fucking fantastic, but if and when they get co-op instituted, like, you could fix this problem could already like be pre-solved by just having 4 co-op players each spawn a Razorback at a different FOB, and all of them get fully equipped with Marines, and then you just go to town.
That's like, assuming you can get 4 co-op players into the same session instead of just like 2.
I mean, they had 4-player co-op in 4 and 5, so I'd assume they'd bring it back. Yeah,
I thought they had 2 and 5.
Did they? No, it
Oh
would,
no,
it had to be
you had the
four
rest
because
of
they
you
had
had the rest.
4-player teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And I think the only reason that 1 and 2 were 2-player co-op is just because that's how they were when they came out, so they're just maintaining that. But the
God, that's disgusting. Wait a minute, fucking 4 players in that open world? No wonder fucking co-op's delayed. What the fuck?
Right. It's gonna be very hard for them to
impossible.
implement that. But like,
Bro,
if and
I'm
when
impressed,
they do,
like they got this much done with like this open world for 1 player. Imagine getting like, oh yeah, we gotta make sure that everyone's synced up 4 ways. I was joking around.
My computer was fucking like, and I really want to get back into the game and try playing it without streaming and doing all this extra shit because I'm curious if my frame rate handles any better. But I was having some serious frame dips when I was getting into new areas because it was trying to load all that shit. So trying to maintain 4 different loaded areas if 4 players go to all corners of the map, that's gonna be something else.
What do you play at?
I play at 1440p, and I try to go for 144 hertz, but it doesn't stay at that level.
On Ultra?
On Ultra, yeah. Because I got the 3080, so I wanted to go to work, but you know, it did its best. It maintained above 60 for most of the playthrough. I know. I fucking know. Can you talk about like fucking AI or something while I'm doing this?
What about AI? Mendicant Bias? A fucking great AI. Super cool. Oh no, wait, we're reaching into spoiler territories. The weapon? The weapon's also an AI. I guess she is a smart AI. I assume she'd be a dumb AI. I think it's fucking stupid how like they set up the whole like Cortana shit and then immediately drop it. Like they set up an entirely different trilogy.
That's the one thing about the story that I think I might take a little issue with. But I think it is more an issue of having to deal with the ramifications of the previous game that most people hated because it was bad, than anything else. So they kind of, the way I described it is they kind of had to hand wave around Cortana's really fucking awful heel turn at the end of 5. But like that's probably the only thing. But I think for what they had to work with, they worked with it as best they could. I think that they handled that well. Like the fact that they didn't. Spoiler alert: Fireteam Osiris doesn't come back. Nobody fucking gives a shit about them.
I give a shit.
Okay, well, good for you.
I thought two of the 4 characters were interesting. And it wasn't the women.
Oh, wow. Sexist approved.
Yeah, I am.
And it's also really cool how, you know, all of Blue Team, you know, John's family, that they say that like 3 times to try and like emphasize that they're family, and they at the same time that's literally all they do to characterize Blue Team in Halo 5.
They could have done the fucking... I don't remember if they do this in Halo 5. They could have done a callback to the fucking Ollie Ollie Oxenfree. They could have fucking done a callback to their training on Reach. They could have done a callback to the beginnings of Operation Red Flag. Yeah. But fucking... They did do... I know this from spoilers because I spoiled the game for myself because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because all I want is knowledge. I remember when John went to delete the weapon. Spoilers, by the way. If people didn't realize that I was gonna, that was me teasing that we were gonna do spoilers. Yeah. When John went to delete the weapon, the trigger words were Red Flag, calling back to Operation Red Flag. 034. Calling back to Samuel 034, the first Spartan to fall and die on the very beginnings of Operation Red Flag, and Samuel, which is, again, calling back to Samuel because that's his fucking name.
Yeah, I was wondering what the significance of those keywords were, and that makes total fucking sense.
Operation Red Flag for the people who care, the 2 people in this chat who care. Actually, the 1 people, because there's only 2 viewers, the 1 people in this chat who care. Operation Red Flag was the initiation of more or less the first major operation that like the Spartan 2s would be going on to combat the Covenant. It would be sending the Spartans into Covenant lines and taking out Covenant, the Covenant hierarchy from the top.
Yeah.
But then Reach happened.
Oops.
So they're like, okay, Spartans, we're gonna give you the Mjolnir Mark V battle armor, and then we're gonna send you after the Covenant heads. And then the elite showed up on Reach, and we're like, what up? I'm a glacial planet.
Oh my god, Corey, I chugged the water for as much as you fucking redeemed. All right.
Nick, Corey wants you to refill the water.
I can see that.
Yeah, well, I can see it too.
Fucking, yeah, I don't know what else there really is to say. Like, the world is beautiful and fun to explore. I was actually watching Ray Narvaez Jr. He did his own campaign stream the other day. So I was just kind of skipping through that and seeing what he was thinking about it. He did comment that they were kind of limited on their design palette as far as like environments go. Like,
that was a major critique that I saw from IGN and like other reviewers, that like Halo Infinite only really is set in like one biome.
Yeah, it's just the forest, mountainous, kind of hilly biome, and then like you have Forerunner structures and you have Banished structures, and that's kind of the long and short of it. But I don't know. That did not even occur to me when I was playing, I guess I'll say. Like, I think the Banished outposts were varied enough for me to really enjoy the environments that they provided, like the combat arenas that they had. And then the exploration aspect of like going up and down the sides of these mountains with the fucking grapple hook was very entertaining and engaging. And then finding the Forerunner like ring artifacts or whatever, like seeing those out in the world was really neat to like find those and then start putting those pieces together. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. That's a valid complaint. But it never occurred to me when I was playing. It was kind of in the background, if anything, I guess.
So when I play open world games, now, like open world first person shooters, and I talk about this a little bit during a stream, I compare them now to Far Cry 5, because Far Cry 5, in my opinion, had the best sandbox for that kind of like gameplay style, where like you have to take on bases, gotta like fucking like liberate like worlds and shit.
Game.
Oh, Ubisoft, and that's pretty much what like fucking Infinite is like emulating. And I would say like Halo Infinite gets like 70% there, 80% there, which is good. Like, that's great. They have the map pretty much down pat, and they got the fucking what's it called? Like, obviously the mechanics and the gunplay is like great. The base taking is awesome. The variants, like the different varieties and whatnot, the way you can tackle objectives and shit. One thing that I did definitely feel that was missing or lacking, I shouldn't say missing, because they have ambient encounters in, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I wish that for the next game, they add a bit more agency to the Marines.
Yeah.
And I can see some more like ambient encounters between like Marines and Covenant forces. Maybe I'm just...
they had the specific zones where Marines would be fighting them, or Marines were already captured by them and you have to free them, and then they fight. Which is cool, but
the Marine firefight missions are dope as hell. Like, being able to support, like, just crash in from out of nowhere and support the Marines and turn the tide of a battle, that's sick as fuck. I wish that happened ambiently throughout the world. Like, fucking, what's it called? Literally all the Ubisoft games have that shit. I mean, and I'm not saying, like, oh, why the fuck does Halo not have that? But I'm saying, like, it'd be really cool if we could see more of that going into the next, like, Halo game. Or maybe even if my theory is true and they just keep expanding on Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I think Ray was talking about that as well. It's like, they're probably gonna do some expansions on this game.
Major DLC expansion, like, for the next bit of story. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Look, if they want to, like, for one thing, I think it'd be funny because Halo would then be infinite.
Yeah, they'd live up to his name, which would be good.
Yeah. For another thing, I think they definitely want this game to be around for a while. And a lot of the game design like trends throughout like the industry for AAA stuff is leaning more towards games as a service and games like trying to.
Oh, they've got that battle pass. They're in it, you know.
Yeah, but like trying to promote game longevity.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like companies are seeing that like making multiplayer games gets them more money the longer the multiplayer game lasts. Like look at League of Legends. It's been here for like fucking how long?
Yeah.
And like it's still kicking.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, World of Warcraft was like the OG, but then League has been.
Gotta hydrate.
I thank you. I'm watching them come in. I'm waiting to see if he dumps any more. Okay.
League of Legends bad. Check your water. World of Warcraft was the OG, and MMOs in general are huge endeavors that last beyond their expected shelf life.
Yeah, that was sort of the progenitor, but I will agree with you that League of Legends, because it was free to play but had all of like skins and stuff, was sort of marking a turning point in a games as a service model where they, focus more on nickel and diming you than asking for a monthly subscription cost. And, the effects of that have been disastrous on the games industry, but I digress.
I think they've been amazing for the games industry. Fucking, we finally get more money. What the fuck? Like, games should not cost $60. Games should cost way more than $60.
Yeah, but then you end up with the battle pass where you have to fucking pay money to get a shoulder pad,
Okay, but then you get the game for free and get to play the game for free.
I know.
It's like saying oh god, I have to pay $10 at a movie theater for a fucking popcorn. Just sneak your own snacks in, bitch. What the fuck? If you want to make your character look cool, okay, then use your fucking mind's eye visualization bullshit to fucking do that. I can't do that, so I pay money.
Yeah, I don't know. I would rather pay more upfront to then... I would rather go down the route of paying $70 or $80 for a game that just has all that stuff in it without having to do a battle pass system. Personally,
yeah,
I think Halo's battle pass system is way less egregious than other battle pass systems out there, especially because you can... for one thing, you can keep working at it even after the season's ended, which is something that a lot of people don't want to do because it's oh, you gotta get it while it's there, otherwise it'll be gone forever. They try to get you on that kind of inflated or what's the word I'm looking for? It's like inflated exclusivity or inflated demand, I guess, kind of, where they make it a collector's item that you can only get for a limited amount of time. Yeah. And so allowing people to keep working on battle passes after they're done is really cool. And it also still will get them money in the long run because you could still, at the end of a battle pass, if you've only grinded the free one, you can still buy the full battle pass after a season's ended, at least as far as I know. So, let's say, Season 1 for this Battle Pass eventually ends and they put out Season 2. You can still get to the end of Season 1's Battle Pass and then you can buy to get all of the paid, all the paid stuff at the end of that, and you're all good. I don't know
about that.
I'm pretty sure that's what they said.
I thought they said... I assumed, at least, logically, it makes more sense that, if I was designing this, as a marketing team, or a game dev who really wanted money, I would assume that you can work through the free battle pass, pass the thing. But if you're working on, if there's a new season, say you're in season 2 and you wanted to do the first or season 1 battle pass, if you try to buy the battle pass, you'd have to buy the season 2 battle pass.
Why?
But I could be wrong.
No,
maybe they let you buy
multiple
battle passes.
Why would they shut down the ability to buy the Season 1 Battle Pass, That will just get them more money. If we're 5 seasons in, and then somebody is trying to grind the Season 1 Battle Pass, if you bar them the ability to get the shit from Season 1 with, the paid version of the Season 1 Battle Pass, I feel like you're just losing out on money there.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So I hope that's what they're doing. I could be wrong. But that's something that they're doing that's automatically, way better than fucking Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever the fuck. I don't know if they brought stuff back in Fortnite. Maybe they have. But it seems like there's so much shit on there that is, timed and, hard to get and, maybe locked away forever after a certain point.
I just think battle passes overall are just way better than fucking what we used to have in like 2007.
Yeah.
Where it was just like pay $60 for a game, $10 for another map pack, $10 for another map pack, $10 for another map pack, $20 or $5 pre-order for a fucking what's it called?
I think we were okay
horse
with
armor.
I think okay, yes, the horse armor was stupid. I think Halo 3's map packs were fine. I think when you started getting to Halo 4 where you started getting into like those were when we got to like BioShock Infinite and Halo 4 where you had season passes where they were selling you on the idea of that there would be map packs coming out in the future where you'd have to buy them, like they were trying to get people to buy them in advance. That shit was really stupid, especially if there were games like Evolve where it went down the shitter before it even got the chance to put out any of the shit from the season pass. And
Rest
then
in
you
peace,
just get fucked.
man.
Or you have to get refunds.
Jacob brings a good point in chat. It is an attempt at price discrimination. The point is to try to extract as much consumer surplus as possible. They found out games as a service make so much more money than they could literally give it away for free and then fleece the whales. Step 3, profit.
Yeah.
There's an argument for it, but the real answer is all the money goes to the execs anyway. So maybe the system doesn't matter while the system is this broken.
Yeah.
But he also goes on to say, it is better than the map pack system, though. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree with that, Jacob, because I'm right. Okay. The map pack system is stupid. Well, because like the thing is, you gatekeep Girl Boss and Gaslight players, dividing them into like essentially who has money for the map packs, who bought all of the map packs, who bought only like the fucking second map pack. You know, like so, like sort of it divides the player community, so you can't like play with more and more people.
Yeah.
Making maps like free and just having like map expansions come out for free, while also having a fucking battle pass system to help fund that shit.
Yeah.
Because sure, a lot of the money goes to fucking game execs, but also goes towards like fucking funding the game so that you can continue working on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
like the money that some of the money that they're getting from all of the skins that they're having people buy like is going to the making it possible for them to make new maps. You know,
yeah, it's like that's just how production works. I mean, again, game execs are gonna get fucking billions of dollars. Bobby Kotick is gonna be lining his fucking suit with Benjamins, but fucking, you know what? I mean, that's just. That's another problem entirely. That's not necessarily about battle passes.
Yeah, I think the lowest point that we've ever gotten with this implementation of games as a service was with the original rollout plan for Star Wars Battlefront 2 from DICE and EA, where they were making people pay for loot boxes that then gave you the chance to unlock abilities that made you physically stronger in the game.
Look. You guys don't want battle passes? We can go back to loot box.
Right, okay.
We can do map packs.
That's
I'm obviously hyperbolizing here, but still, it's like, if Bobby Kotick didn't line his suit with Benjamins of battle pass tiers, I would still argue for battle passes, simply because if we're gonna work on a game for decades, right? And we need to like get this going now and not wait like 5 or so years down the line until we get enough revenue coming in from skins. Let's do battle passes. It helps gamify the system. People like seeing numbers go up. It gives us money. Like look, gamers like gaming. I don't know what to fucking tell you. You could be like, oh fuck, I hate like having to pay for a thing and grind out for it. Yeah, that's like one person out of like fucking everyone else who loves fucking like getting levels and shit. And sure, like you can argue that like, oh, but like if you're paying money for it, shouldn't you just get it? You're getting the battle pass, but if you want to like get something, there's also a fucking store, I guess. It's kind of shit. I honestly think that 343 store is dog shit, but that's just me. Their marketing team is fleecing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let me reiterate though that like their marketing team and the battle pass system is a hard fucking fleece, but still, the idea of battle passes aren't like the worst. So, like Jacob added some more.
Yep, he's saying, sorry for spiraling on the capitalism for a bit. The real problem with games as a service is the continuing model of not ever owning anything. But I mean, that's capitalism, baby, so we're all fucked, I guess. Yeah, that's true. That shit sucks. And that's kind of what I was saying with, like, the, I don't know. I felt like with map packs, you were, like, just getting a specific thing that you then owned for good. But, because when they give it away for free, they aren't letting you borrow it. They are letting borrow for free, which I mean, like I said, has been the trend in the industry, and every industry is forever. For every industry forever, so like I said, maybe the real corruption was kept. Yeah. Battle Pass is definitely a better system than some of the previous. There is a very specific reason all the studios are using it, because they found a way to minimize backlash while maximizing profits. You don't own the map packs either. I mean, you download it onto your PC, and then it's there. Like, I don't know.
Well, you download your Steam games onto your PC doesn't mean you own your Steam games.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. Like on my
Xbox
360, which is unplugged from the internet, I can load up Halo 3, and it has all the maps that I got from the map packs. Or I got the Mythic version from ODST, which got me all the map packs, but that's all on disc, so I could just play that at any time. I don't know. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, but we can't go back to that regardless for like any game these days, because nobody's doing that shit anymore. Nobody's letting you just fucking take shit offline, basically.
It don't work like that no more. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, map packs are, stupid. And I mean, I understand why they were made back in 2007. I'm glad that in this new digital age where ownership is meaningless, we are now on battle passes, because like Jacob said, they minimize backlash because gamers like gaming, and they maximize profits because I like money.
Yeah.
I mean,
they get their whales, and we get our quality gameplay on new maps for free, basically. So that's really fine.
Look, you get cosmetics and shit if you want to like grind out for it. You get if people want to pay for all that shit, they get to whale out.
Yeah.
Like, it's a win-win for everybody. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it's a win-win. It's a compromise for everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the game devs. We absolutely win.
Yeah, game devs still get fucked with terrible wages and terrible hours.
Oh, yeah, well, no, that's how you balance it out, you know? Like, if we were winning too hard, gamers would be even more entitled. So, we have to balance it out by having sexual and workplace harassment.
Woo! Bobby Kotick! Woo! Very cool. Yeah, but I guess at the end of the day, the product that they delivered for free with the multiplayer, and then basically next to nothing for the campaign if you have Game Pass. Fucking
Game Pass is amazing.
Quality is shit. Like, you can again, like, if you're a first time like person on Game Pass, not to fucking shill for big daddy Microsoft here, but you know, you get that first month for $1 if it's your first month. You can get Halo Infinite for basically $1, and then also the rest of Game Pass. And the campaign doesn't really, like, it took me, fucking 8 hours on the last run, on Legendary. So if you really want to blast through it, you can do it, like, that fast. And if you want to spend more time with it, you could probably do it in, like, 20 or 30 hours. And that's all for $1. So...
And Jacob in the chat is right. It is just bread and circuses.
Yeah. Really, and then again, the multiplayer for free fucking plays super solid. So Halo has come back. I think this is a real big comeback for Halo, especially after the little misstep with 5.
I think this is a perfectly adequate comeback for Halo.
Yeah. I am very much looking forward to where the series is taking us. And I loved what they've done with the Master Chief and the world. And I'm so glad, like, they didn't really bring in any Halo Wars 2 stuff, but I'm glad that they at least brought the Banished in. That's super cool. I love that.
I'm fucking furious about that because it just invalidates so much of the fucking book reading.
Yeah, sorry, Master Chief of Loneliness. The books are never gonna matter.
Bullshit.
We talked about this while we were streaming.
Matters. Sarah and Osmond matters. They fucking matter in the background. Fucking. But then, the fucking Banished popped out of nowhere. Wait, there's a whole book about the Sword of St. Helios, but fucking guess what? Guess fucking what? Joe Mandama gets fucked up in like 5 seconds in Halo 5 intro.
Yep. You gotta love it. They've never respected the Halo books, and I don't know why. They've made some very quality books, as the Brian David Gilbert fucking Polygon thing showed on Unraveled. They made some very good books, and they should use more of them.
Right.
But they just keep refusing to do so for one reason or another.
I gotta reiterate, Halo Kilo 5 is a fantastic novel so far, and Joe Mondama is an interesting alt-right character. but they immediately fucking frag him in the first 5 seconds of fucking Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah, not even with Master Chief. They do it with fucking Fireteam Osiris.
Fucking Jameson Locke, who isn't like that bad of a character, guys. Y'all just
he's nothing. He's just not anything. He's just a dude.
You're just being racist. Okay, you're just being racist against black people, bro.
Yep.
I mean, the female characters are absolute like dog shit too.
They just have Buck, and they just put Buck in there because they knew everybody fucking loved Buck, and they're right.
They love Buck.
And that's really cool.
Look, just give me a fucking Spartan.
You want your Halo book lore. There it is. Fucking Buck became a Spartan 4, and he's in the campaign of 5 because he became a Spartan 4 in the books. Alright?
Look,
they don't talk about honestly, any of the cool shit that he did when he was becoming a Spartan 4, but, well.
They didn't talk about how Mickey, Romeo, and Dutch and Dutch's wife are now also Spartans, and how Buck is now a married man.
Oh, did he marry, what's her name?
He married Veronica Dare.
I thought, did they divorce or something? I thought they didn't maintain that relationship.
They started dating shortly after, well, they were very much on again, off again. And they finally sealed the deal and were like, look, we love each other, and our jobs are fucking wild, dude. But like, we do love each other, so let's like,
let's work it out, baby.
Let's tie it down. At the very least, let's like work something out. Like, I'm a Spartan, you're an Oni agent. I don't want to call them by the term that they use in Halo often because it's kind of a slur, but I know that it's like the idea is that like, oh no, but they're like scary, spooky guys, but like,
I forgot about that.
Like, I don't know, man. Still not gonna use it. Maybe I'm just PC thin-skinned motherfucker, but I mean,
but Pat, you can say it because you're Asian. You have the right to say it.
Oh yeah, I'm brown. You're right.
Oh man, but yeah, good fucking. Bottom line, Halo Infinite campaign, very fucking good. Very few. Basically, the only drawback is they had to kind of deal with the fact that Halo 5 exists, and also some of the boss fights are kind of spongy. But I still enjoy them.
Another fucking drawback is that I don't know who the fuck the Endless are.
Yeah, well, they're setting that shit up for the next one, so
that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I guess that's another complaint is that because they are using this as a springboard for another game, they've kind of there are things that they've left unsaid, and they're leaving that for the next thing. So there's a story that is unfinished there, but they did finish. They concluded Chief and Cortana's story in a like.
Oh, they didn't. They rebooted Cortana and.
No, shut up! I don't want to spoil all that for people. The fucking like they. It's basically closure for Chief because she died in 4. Like, I think that was the original intent, was that she fucking died in 4. But then in 5, they were like, no, wait, she survived somehow. The fucking Didact ship went through slip space or something, and her code survived. And now she's back. But now she's evil. Fuck you. And Chief, obviously, is just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Which is the exact same reaction that all of the audience members who played the game would have had, because it's fucking stupid. But then they're reconciling that in Infinite, and they have, like, Chief getting a form of closure through it, and I think it works. I think it works well.
Halo 5 is one of the best experiences I've had with brushing the past 2 games under the rug.
4 and 3?
No, Halo Infinite. I'm sorry. Halo Infinite is the best game I've had.
I was gonna say, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. What do I mean about Halo Infinite brushing 4 and 5 under the rug?
When you said 5, I was like, what do you mean that's the best game?
That was my bad.
I don't know. I think if you go back and play 4, it is a...
No, yeah.
The story between Cortana and Chief is a well-done story. The Didact stuff is sort of whatever, but the Cortana and Chief stuff is like, yeah, she's, like, dying, and, like, Chief has to, like, deal with that, and like, she has to deal with that. She has to come to terms with that. And she does, and then she's dead, but then they bring her back for 5, and it fucks everything up, and then they finally get closure in Infinite, and I think, yes, at the very least, it brushes 5 under the rugs.
They brush, I mean, look, they kind of brush, they also brush 4 under the rug and just go like, hey, it's fucking, we're new trilogy now. What, the other 2 games didn't happen. Nope.
Okay, yes, in that sense, this is not a trilogy ender. It is a trilogy starter, so they're kind of just leaving 4 and 5 in a nebulous space.
This character, their character choices, nope, they're a new character now. Completely new, guys. Nope, it's a new character, we swear.
Yeah, but I loved it. I think if you've got it, if you got Game Pass or you want to get it, you should and support it. And yeah, I think we've probably exhausted everything we could about Halo.
This episode of Horsin Around is brought to you by
Nobody's sponsoring.
Nobody's sponsoring us. It's depressing.
If you want to sponsor the show,
we just show for free. We just show for free. Yeah, that's all it is. We just show for free.
John Microsoft, if you want to sponsor me to shill more for Halo, I'll do it. I'll become one of your... What were they listed as is in the credits? They had
Halo Legend...
Yeah, something like that.
Legendary supporters, I think.
Yeah. If we want to talk, we can set up some kind of relationship like that. I'm down. 100 million%. So just let me know. Reach out. Anyways, yeah, so that's going to do it for this Halo Infinite special of Horsin' Around. Thank you for coming on and talking it over with me, Pat. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there, and until next time, peace out.